warm welcome to Disky Talk with Liolo. If you're tuning in for the very first time, I do ask that you please subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you've been a part of this journey, I hope you thoroughly enjoy this episode. So, on today's episode, I discuss all things Dstv Premiership action as Sekhukhune United take on Kaizer Chiefs. So, the red team will represent Sekhukhune and then the blue team will represent Kaizer Chiefs, as I have a tactical pre-match analysis of that Dstv Premiership encounter. So, the last time out then, Sekhukhune did play then to a scoreless draw against AmaZulu away from home, and then Kaizer Chiefs played to a 1-1 draw against Mamelodi Sundowns at the F&B Stadium. So, coming up into this encounter then, both sides will be looking to go one better from a draw to 3 points. But there can only be one winner if there is a winner on the day. However, let's head into the tactical pre-match analysis of this encounter. So, the red team represents Sekhukhune. So, the last time out, Sekhukhune against AmaZulu, they did start with a 3-5-2. And what's very interesting then was to see them then using wing backs and using a back three as well, as throughout the season they have been playing a 4-2-3-1 at mostly, and sometimes a 4-4-2, but it's mostly been a 4-2-3-1 with a double pivot within the heart of midfield. So when we have a look then at the personalities, if they are continuing with the 3-5-2, we'll have a look at it from that perspective. We'll also have a look at it then from a perspective of a 4-2-3-1. So having a look then at Sekhukhune, in goals then, they do start with Tostan Sabata. So this is a goalkeeper who's a very good shot stopper, and within the first half of the season, I think he was very, very impressive. I just think that Sekhukhune collectively, in the second half of the season, they have dropped off with regards to their performances and form as well. However, they've done just enough to ensure that then they will be playing Dstv Premiership next season. So Sabata does start in goals. The back three that they did go with the last time out then, they did start with Edon Jama, Silo Mutsepe, and then with Justice Chabalala. When you have a look at this back three, he's a very, very physical players, and players then who are very, very dominant in the air. And when you have a look at it then, with these centre-backs, they are comfortable on the ball, so they can play out from the back. But with this Sekhukhune, their approach is very pragmatic, where they do allow the opposition a lot of the ball. So from build-up perspective, they are not a team that's always going to look to build up from a back. They are not a team that play that quick, enterprising, free-flowing, passing brand of football. And then moving right along within the heart of midfield, they had a midfield three of Yusuf Maart, Pogiso Mahlangu, and then they had Mulaba. So when you have a look at this midfield three then, when you have a look at Yusuf Maart, so with Yusuf Maart, he was the one then who dropped deepest, looking to get onto the ball and looking then to start play from deep pockets of space for this Sekhukhune side. With Pogiso Mahlangu, this is a player who's quite versatile, as he has played up front. He's also played at right back for this Sekhukhune United side. So he is then a hard-working player. With Mulaba, he is the one then who does tend to offer them legs within the heart of midfield with regards to progressing a lot further forward, and a player then who goes box to box. And then when you have a look then at the wing back, so as the left wing back, they did start with Kabwe. So with Kabwe then, he would be looking to offer them that width within vertical zone 1 on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side, you do have Nigo Mobi, who would then be looking to offer them width on the right-hand side within vertical zone 5. So with Mobi then, we do know that this is a player then who from time to time can deliver those balls into the box. So that is Sekhukhune when you have a look at the two wing backs. And then up front, the last time out, they did start with Justin Shonga, and then they started with Ohizu as well. So when you have a look at these two then, these are two quality strikers. However, with Justin Shonga, we do know that within the past couple of months, he has been quite the journeyman, as he hasn't quite settled and he hasn't quite shown that form, you know, where he showed that form at Orlando Pirates, where he was very, very good. And I just think then that towards the end of the season, this could be a very good chance for him then to showcase what he really has, so that then going into the next season, he can start off confidently. So with Justin Shonga, he would be the one who's much more mobile. With Ohizu, then, he is the striker that has scored the most goals for this Sekhukhune United side this season. So he is the one then that does look to offer them the threat within the box and offer them that presence as well. So the last time out then, they did start with a 3-5-2. However, I did mention then that they do also at times have played a 4-2-3-1. So within the heart of midfield, there is Tlotlo Lepile, who can always come within the heart of midfield, who plays very deep within the heart of midfield. You've got Perusnat, who can also come within the heart of midfield. And then when they do use natural wingers, you do have Nube, and then you've got Matontsela. So if they do then go with a 4-2-3-1, they'd be looking to drop, I'm thinking they would be looking to drop one centre-back, where then you could have Kabwe coming off the left. You could have Nico Mobi there. And then within the heart of midfield, you could have Maart. You could have Lipile. You could have Madonsela coming off the one side, Ngube coming off the other. You could have Ohizu, and then you could have Perusnat there. So that's also another way that they could look to approach it. Or you could even play a 4-4-2. So you could have Ohizo, and then you could have Justin Shonga as well. So that's also another way that Sekhukhune can go about things with regards to their shape and how they're looking to impose themselves, because they do have quite a few players, and having a lot of players does then give you quite a few options from a tactical and technical perspective as well. However, when you do have a look at this Sekhukhune United side, I do think then that a key player for them will be Ohizu up front, with regards to how then he looks to impose himself and trouble that Kaizer Chiefs back line. As we do know that that Kaizer Chiefs backline has been conceding in the past couple of weeks. So he can look to have a go at the two centre-backs, which will be Mpahlela and Gezane as well. In the heart of midfield, Maart then becomes quite important with regards to how he looks to stabilize and how then he looks to get onto the ball at times. However, I did mention that this Sekhukhune United side is a very, very pragmatic side. So they're not a side that play a very enterprising, open, free, fluid game of football. So they will allow the opposition to have more possession, as they do sit in very deep blocks, so low to mid blocks. That's what they would adopt a lot of the times, and look to hit you with counter attacks, where then they're looking to be successful with offensive transitions. However, let's then have a look at Kaizer Chiefs with regards to the personnel. So Kaizer Chiefs then, under Arthur Zwane, they have been playing with a 4-2-3-1. That has been the system that is favored the most. And when you do have a look at the personalities, so in goals then, you do have Bruce Bavuma. So with Bruce, this is a very good shot stopper. But what stands out about Bruce is his communication and his leadership skills with regards to marshalling his back four. So looking then at the right back, you do have Njabulo Blom. When you have a look at Njabulo Blom, he's quite key then at offering the width within vertical zone 5, within the right wide channel for this Kaizer Chiefs side. This is a player then who does have a couple of assists this season for this Kaizer Chiefs side. So whenever then he does get into advanced pockets of spaces within the wide right channel, he does look to bring that ball into the box, where then he can deliver those crosses. At times, he can also then look to deliver with his left foot. At times, you would see him then also occupy that right-sided half space whenever Keagan Dolly does stay wide. So they do enjoy quite a dynamic relationship with regards to positional rotations and the pockets of space that they would occupy. But most of the times it would be Njabulo Blom who would look to offer the width on the right-hand side. When you have a look at the two centre-backs, you do have Ngezane, you do have Mpahlela. With Ngezane, this is a player then who has had a couple of solid performances at the heart of defence for this Kaizer Chiefs side. And then as the left back, you do have Rifrosla. So with Rifrosla, he is an ambipedal player. So he is well adept at playing with both feet, which is left and right. Moving on then, right along within the heart of midfield, you do have Cole Alexander, and then you do have Patu Chezanange, who scored the last time out. So they become quite key then with regards to ensuring that they're able then to control the midfield and they're able to duel as well. And I do foresee them then having the lion's share of possession position when it comes to this game. And when you do have a look at a player who I think could become very, very efficient against the Sekhukhune United side, I do think this is a game where you can go with Bacchus within the heart of midfield, where you sacrifice one of them and just play then with one sitter, one deep defensive midfielder, and then you could have Bacchus alongside them. That is another option that Arthur Zwane could look to go with. And then the last time out, they did start with Keagan Dolly as the most advanced midfielder, who did play as a 10 behind the striker. So with Keagan Dolly, this is a very intelligent player who does offer then this Kaizer Chiefs side that positional superiority and qualitative superiority. So with positional superiority then, with regards to how he positions himself in between the lines, laterally so, how he's looking to receive the ball and look to advance, and how then he occupies the right side of the half space a lot of the times, how then he drops into midfield and he looks then to play those passes where then he's looking to progress the ball and take Chiefs from consolidation phase to in the final third. However, we do know that he can also start off the right-hand side if Nkosimpile Ngcobo does return. And the last time out then, Kambole did start off the right-hand side. You did then have Castro who started up front, and then you had Billiat who started off the left. But like I mentioned, Nkosimpile Ngcobo can always come into the lineup. So if Nkosimpile Ngcobo starts there, then you will have Keagan Dolly who does then start off the right-hand side. And when you do have a look at it then, there is also Nukovic who can always come in for Castro second half. You also do have Sekhukhune who can come in on the left-hand side. So when you do have a look at this Kaizer Chiefs side, they do have a number of options that can come off the bench and look to influence the game for this Kaizer Chiefs side. So they do have quite a number of players that can come off the bench and make an impact. So for Kaizer Chiefs then, I do foresee that Keagan Dolly and Kama Billiat will be the key players, as they have been responsible for most of the goals and assists for Kaizer Chiefs this season. However, at home, ladies and gentlemen, do tell me who wins this one between Sekhukhune United and Kaizer Chiefs. I think Kaizer Chiefs will win this one with a 2-1 narrow scoreline. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in to yet another special episode of Diski Talk with Luyolo. If you did enjoy this, please do subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, comment, and share the link as well. Signing out.